Hey, welcome everybody. It's another beautiful day in the market. It's another beautiful day in the world. My name is Michael Camo. I'm here with my good friends Derrick Oldensmith and JR Romero. Our friend Sami Abusad is off today. Now, funny thing, like before we left off, like last week I was talking to Sami over chat and I was saying like, I think I want to buy SpaceX, but I chickened out like a little wuss. And now we're seeing like this today. It's up 12% now. So I'm here with two long-term SpaceX bears. So Derrick, I want to get right into it with you. Now you've been short SpaceX for a while. Does this feel like a one-day wonder?
I mean, look, this thing was bound to have some degree of a snapback at some point. It was just a matter of the timing and with the lockup expiration, first of all, it's just the first lockup expiration. They're going to be unlocking stock, I think, every 2 weeks. So the float's just going to be increasing and increasing and increasing. But this was kind of the classic buy the rumor, sell the news, I guess, in reverse situation. I remember seeing Snapchat do the exact same thing when Snap had their lockup expiration after their IPO. They sold it for a whole month down into the lockup expiration. They crushed it. Everyone knew it was coming. Everyone knew it was going to be massive. And they oversold it to the point where it gave a big multi-day bounce immediately after. So it seems like we're seeing a little bit of a repeat of that with SpaceX here. But look, this has been one of the easiest shorts of my entire career. I'm still short stock from over $200. I'm just going to be sticking with it for now, and I'm adding back to the position a little bit on this move higher because it still doesn't justify the valuation. And if you're an insider, you're going to want to be booking a little bit of profit for yourself. So just that more and more supply is just going to come online. But it was bound to have a snapback. I mean, this thing could bounce back to, I think, $145, $155, kind of that range. And that would just be normal for a recent IPO with a ton of volatility to it. And that's an area where I would actually look to want to really add back into my short.
Okay, let us know out in the chat, out there in the universe. Are you buying SpaceX? Like, do you have the cojones to jump in with SpaceX to bet on robots fixing servers in outer space? Okay, JR, what do you think of this? Do you think, like, the lockup was just, it was so telegraphed, like, this was not a secret? Do you think it was kind of, like Derrick said, inevitable there was going to be a bounce somewhere?
You can't fight the fundamentals and you can't fight the tape, sir. That's what we're up against today. I'm reminded of the 1968 Virginia Slims ad about the empowered woman. You've come a long way, baby. Well, I think that SPCX was due for a technical reversal today, or at least a technical retracement. You have strong news from SpaceX coming out of both ends of the tape today, the upgrades and then the Google investment. And so, you have some excitement here, a little bit of short covering, but just like the Virginia Slims ad, basically intimating that you can have it all. I think that you can have it all here in SpaceX. I'm still wildly short SpaceX. And guess what? Because we have 28,000 ETFs in this market, I literally had to ask my traders, guys, how do I hedge my short position this morning on SpaceX? And just a trickle of of ticker symbols just came down my screen. I was like, whoa, calm down, you degenerates. And no, there's just like all these instruments you can trade for in terms of leverage and regular ETFs for SpaceX. So I just took the levered ETF option to hedge my short today. Bought it right off the open and sold it right when SpaceX was hitting 128. So, just huge move today in SpaceX. You can have it all because you've come a long way, baby. And it's good to be a day trader. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So I searched ChatGPT for leveraged SpaceX ETFs. We have LOFF, SPCF, SPAL, yeah. So then we have announced pending. So
SPCH, ABC as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's out of control. It's going to end badly, but nobody cares anymure.
Like,
Nobody cares what I think.
But I mean, are we going to have like Jersey Mike's leveraged ETFs at this point?
Yes.
Like the way things are going?
Yes, why not?
It's insanity, honestly. I mean, and you saw South Korea is banning these leveraged ETFs. I mean, it has major market impact.
What could possibly go wrong when South Korea? Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah.
It's just stretching everything. That bullish day that we had like 3 trading sessions ago, where the Qs were up like 3% or whatever. The impact of these leveraged ETFs, I think in tech alone, there was an additional $22 billion of forced buying just from the leveraged ETF rebalancing. So it's having this very broad market impact, individual sectors, individual stocks, where it just enables everything to stretch. It enables that rubber band to stretch so much further than it ever traditionally could, which I know a lot of really good counter trend traders who have been struggling a little bit because their old rules don't work in the same way that they used to. You have to be a lot more patient and wait for things to get a lot more stretched than you used to traditionally before you're looking for any counter trend trades.
Okay,
the ETF effects are gnarly. The volatility decay is different. It creates a different type of market dynamic, man.
But is that? But should we? I put the question on the screen. I asked the audience: do you think leverage ETFs should they be banned? But I mean, like, why not let the? I mean, I'll ask both of you guys: why not just let the degenerates have what they want? Because I feel like they're going to find a way to gamble either way. So, like, is there an argument against even these ETFs existing?
I mean, from a safety to the structure of markets argument, yeah, I could see an argument to not let them exist. But I'm a trader. I want the movement. And honestly, I really like the leveraged ETF sometimes because it's like, look at the NASDAQ as an example. I greatly prefer to trade the TQQQ over the QQQ just because it's a $74 ETF, but it's also a 3x leverage ETF. It moves crazy. It gives big swings, but because it's $74, I can use a little bit less buying power to be able to get these really big movements from it. I can have more size. I can trade a little bit more of a complex game plan than if I'm in a $722 ETF with the QQQ. So I love some of these products. It's a little bit silly that a day after an IPO, you end up having like 7 leveraged ETFs for every single stock, literally a day after it IPOs.
A day after? Bro, they were out before the IPO. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
get older, baby.
Yeah, SK Hynix, they managed to have a leverage ETF like before the stock was actually trading.
Yeah, the SpaceX too.
I think like these ETF companies, I think they all have this fantasy of creating this sort of like signature instrument. So everybody's piling in to jump on the hot thing because maybe they become the leveraged SpaceX ETF. I don't know, like my funniest current market stat is the fact that the DRAM ETF trades more than SPY and the Qs. 80 million, it's trading 80 million shares a day. Freaking DRAM. Like, this is the world I mean, I kind of love it. I think, for me, the more chaos, the better. So, I don't know. Okay, but speaking of DRAM, all right, we need to address the other big gorilla in the room, SanDisk. SanDisk reported this week along with Western Digital. Now, AI earnings, like overall, the trend, AI spending is going crazy. Everybody's buying tons of hardware. The stock reactions are kind of all over the place. SanDisk, their guidance was not so hot, at least relative to expectations. It took a little bit of a tumble. So, JR, I will start with you. You have been a notable SanDisk bull in the past with many major SanDisk forecasts. What do you make of our friend SanDisk here?
Well, primarily, I think SanDisk continues to be a fantastic trading instrument. And as a trader, that's really all I care about. You know what I mean? We took SanDisk yesterday at 1190. sold it into the 1290s. You know what I mean? Took a break, watched a couple Star Trek episodes, had a Pop-Tart, and went back to work. So, you know, this obsession the market has with SNDK's valuation, it's fun to watch, but ultimately, like my Aunt Janet says, are you making any money? The first time I started a business, I was 21-year-old kid, went behind the years. I was telling her my business plan. I had employees already. She's like, "Kid, are you making any money?" I was like, "Let me get back to you on that." I liked. There was a very good. I think Morgan Stanley got it right. They put out a strong defense.
Hey, JR.
Your sound is cutting in and out. Like, you might want to leave the room and come back in. All right,
Hello?
You are JR? You're like all distorted. Derrick, we'll move on to you. Like, so what do you think of obviously SanDisk is obviously the star of the show. It is like, even among the T3 Live audience, like our readers, our viewers, SanDisk is by far the number one stock they are interested in right now. So, like, what do you make of it now after earnings?
Well, I was looking forward to hearing about JR's ante, but hopefully he'll get back to us soon. Look, so these companies have come really far in a really short period of time. So having a good earnings report is not going to be good enough. The SanDisk earnings report was good. That's how I would describe it. It wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't overly knock your socks off. It wasn't a massive beat on every single metric, which is kind of what you need for these companies, given how far they've come. But it was good. The company's doing just fine. I do think that this thing's going to eventually be breaking back higher. And the biggest thing under the surface, bigger picture, is that these companies are going to start buying back so much of their stock. I think that SanDisk announced a buyback that's like 10 or 14% of its float. I saw a headline, I think from either UBS or Wells Fargo, one of the analysts over there, a week or two ago, that they expect that by the end of, I think, 2028, they expect that Micron will buy back 40% of its float. The buybacks that are going to be coming into these things, because they've just made more cash than they can ever do anything with, is going to be so crazy. It's going to make such a huge underlying bid to these things that it's like, sure, there's going to be some volatility. There's going to be some pullbacks. There's going to be some earnings reports that aren't perfectly ideal, but the bigger picture dips are going to consistently be viable with these names. It's just a matter of, when is this SanDisk descending channel that it's in on the daily chart right now going to break back to the upside to give me the entry to go back long this thing for the break higher?
Okay. Yeah, so it's all about waiting for an opportunity. And by the way, SpaceX is just about at 131. So wonderful. Okay, JR, now your aunt wanted to know, where's the beef? Where's the goddamn money, JR? Where's the money? So is she buying SanDisk now? What's going on with her?
Serious. So she was saying, where's the lahmajin? But yes. Look, Joseph Moore put out an excellent defense from Morgan Stanley. I think they nailed it. I think obviously they came in. It was a powerful earnings report. It didn't blow people's expectations as they thought it would. The stock was priced for perfection, but their long-term deal coverage looks insane into 2027 and 2028. They're talking about maintaining 84% margins into the future with total NAND market domination. They're growing their storage hierarchies between HDD and eSSD. They're doing everything right, and I think they're going to continue to blow these numbers out of the water. Like I keep saying, guys, the AI build out hasn't even gone fully kinetic yet, and it's not linear. It is going to go parabolic. These companies are going to continue to face incredibly challenging supply side and delivery challenges while delivering with margins above 84%. and I think they're gonna continue to shock the world.
Yeah. Fun fact. So I just searched in Google News AI spending, and we've learned that Grindr's AI spend is paying off. So now Grindr is an AI stock. This is the world we live in.
Yeah, I'm long Grinder. I didn't know what I wasn't. They got a little battered on earnings, unfortunately, but I had no idea what the stock did, and I started making some jokes that, in retrospect, about Grinder was slightly off color, and one of my moderators had to squawk me privately and tell me, "You realize what these people do, right, Jr.?" So, anyways, it's a joke that I can't tell a polite company. That being said, yes, I think the market continues to grossly underestimate the parabolic AI spending curve we haven't yet seen.
Yeah, friend. Sleeping Dolphin is saying used to take 80 gigs of ReVRAM, now 2 gigs of VRAM for the same age. AI is getting better. Okay. By the way, I have met users of Grindr. Do you remember like macroeconomics 101, like in inelastic demand, like how there are certain products, no matter how much they cost, the demand is just like endless, like cigarettes was the traditional. Grindr is that. All right, moving on. So, okay, so like, do you think, JR, do you think SanDisk is the kind of stock you can just like buy and put away for 5 years?
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't buy it here, but yes. You give me SanDisk on some kind of flash crash at $900, then I'm backing up the truck. You know, but the thing is, some stocks just move really, really well. And if you look at a SanDisk chart, yesterday was gorgeous. You know, this morning I was so busy beating Palantir and SPCX over the head that I ignored my new sweetheart SanDisk. But just look at the quality of the setup. I mean, you have a beautiful 2-wave corrective fade with ending in a sort of tight wedge yesterday. This morning you have a piercing reversal that took out the 1271 pivot, gave you a nice bearish consolidation, and then literally like a 70-point flush. So like I don't worry about valuations. And I mean, I'm interested as a trader and as an investor. I'm interested in how these things are priced and the fundamentals. But as a trader, this is every day is a trip to the candy store with this stock. It's a wonderful trading instrument. It's what Tesla was 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. Jacked Orange Man. Yes, JR did my work for me today. I appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about Nvidia. So Nvidia really woke up this week. Elon Musk is basically in love with Nvidia. I even wonder if there's going to be one of those circular financing deals with SpaceX and Tesla and Nvidia. But Derrick, I saw you were long Nvidia. So are you sticking with it here?
Yep, I'm bullish on Nvidia. Nvidia is back in vogue. It's been outperforming the other semiconductor stocks recently. It's trading really well. My target on this for the moment is only 230, but I've been in it since below 200, so it's pretty good move. It's back in vogue, and I think that the SpaceX headline really helped to propel this thing higher again. And I'm honestly bullish on the entire semiconductor complex. And this is another one. We're in the second half of 2026 now. Jensen Huang told us earlier in the year that in the second half of 26 is when he's really going to start to implement a lot of return to shareholders. The buybacks are going to be coming. They're going to be coming heavy. They're going to be coming strong. I'm really excited for the earnings report for when NVIDIA comes out because I think that they're going to announce additional buybacks on it. Up and to the right on this guy. I just wonder if I'm not aggressive enough.
Yeah.
JR, are you playing with NVIDIA these days?
I told my traders on the week of July 28th, if Nvidia tags 189, that was going to back up the truck and buy several $1 million worth of stock for the bounce back to the value area higher on 215. Just basically a rotation back to top of value, and I had a bunch of bids in place, and it gave you almost a perfect technical double bottom reversal around 190, and it's trading within this range, which is highly tradable. I don't think we get much past 236, maybe 240, 250, but it's been on fire. It's been really fun to day trade every day. We've taken it long almost every day since the week of August 3rd, and it's been wonderful.
Okay, here's a good question from stock operator Edward. What's your take on AMD, Palantir, and the photonic stocks like LIT? And LIT reports earnings next week, by the way. You guys have any thoughts on it? Like, let's start with AMD.
Again, I'm bullish on semiconductors. I want this AMD chart to prove itself a little bit better. I don't like this failure off 500 today. I really want to see from a technical perspective that this thing can get above 500 as a starting point. Really more like 515-ish as a starting point. If you can get up there and hold above there, close above there, then I think that this thing goes back after highs and breaks out. And I am broadly bullish on the semiconductor space. I don't like how this thing has been trading recently, so I just need it to prove itself a little bit. Palantir, I've been a Palantir hater in the past. I have no position in Palantir right now. That earnings report was absolutely freaking phenomenal. That might have been the VIP earnings report of this earnings season so far. I mean, the numbers absolutely and utterly crushed. Beautiful follow through up on that day. Then it took a 2-day break, gave you a higher low, continuation higher today for another 9%. Palantir is just looking unstoppable at this point. I am not jumping in front of that freight train. It looks fantastic. And then I'll be honest, I don't have a strong opinion on the LITE. I think it looks decent, but let's see what happens on the earnings report.
Okay, and just in case anyone from Palantir is monitoring this video, I just want to say we love Palantir. We appreciate everything you do. Okay, JR, just in case our friends from Mossad or CIA are listening.
You don't want to get droned.
No, you never know. Listen, they have seniors everywhere. Okay, all right, JR, you have any thoughts on these, like AMD, Palantir, or LITE?
Yeah, LITE, fantastic trading instrument. The optoelectronics and chips are back. I mean, I don't think they were ever done. Palantir, I am no fan of Alex Karp. He looks like a homeless man lost at a Dungeons and Dragons convention, trying to dress up as Doc from Back to the Future. I don't like the fact that he encouraged people to buy his stock right after an earnings report, and then dumped $1 billion worth of stock on their heads. I don't know if you guys remember that. I thought that was very poor form.
Oh, I remember. I remember.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. I was short at the time too, and I was like, "This guy
good for you.
Pumped the stock in my face just to be able to do this." I'm no
That's
fan of
a
him
dick
either.
move,
That report was something special, though.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was really poor form. Look, I do what the chart says to do. This morning it was a screaming buy. When it's a screaming sell, I'll be shorting. I have no loyalty or allegiance to Palantir. I think they're a terrifying company. They wield a terrifying instrument that I sincerely hope is used in favor of the American people moving forward. Because let me tell you, their stack is terrifying. But yes, now it's the time to be buying Palantir, and I see it. I see it easily going into the 190s and the 200s from here. It's you've been building a very sloppy base here since February. It was strongly accumulated in the 110s, 120s, and now you've got a really nice short covering rally here, and yeah, you got 30, 40 points of upside from here.
Little chasey to start a new position here at 170 now, though. No.
You'd have to rebase. You'd have to consolidate. Like I always tell my traders, guys, time is your best friend. Things, let things correct through time. Let new longs come in, build your cumulative base, and when you have your supply demand imbalance, you ride the choo-choo train. Don't chase.
Love it.
What's the rush? I mean, there's some bananas thing happening every 10 minutes in this market. Why would you chase Palantir up freaking 50, 60 points? It's insanity.
Because it's fun.
And in this market, you have to wait 4 days? Derrick?
Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, and that's the whole thing with the market itself. Not to get off topic, but you had that sick 4 days in a row to the upside in the market. The SPYs, the S&P completely broke out, and then we had a day 5 gap up. And I told everybody in the virtual trading floor that morning, like, look, guys, make no mistake about it. I'm bullish as all hell. We just broke out of a 3-month consolidation, a 3-month bull flag, but this is a day 5 gap up at this point. I want to marry the longs, but I'm not afraid to borrow a short here for a day or two just because this move is so far so fast. And then that pullback or consolidation or price time correction, that's what creates the next setup for the next leg higher. That's the trade that I really look for, but I'm a trader, so I don't mind shorting for a day or two here also while that setup comes into play.
Absolutely. And it was also like a major high volume move into an upper trend line. Like I told my traders the same thing. I said, get into other traders and technicians' heads. Who wants to buy this extended move into an upper trend line? Not this guy,
Okay, so I think that is a good segue to ideas. And I just want to say once again that we appreciate everything Palantir does, and that stuff Derrick said about, that little shenanigans with the share sale. They were joking. They're very sarcastic, dry senses of humor. That's just the way they are. So we're going to move on. Again, we love Palantir. Okay.
I wasn't joking. Like, seriously, fuck that guy.
All right. JR's been muted.
Fuck that guy.
Derrick also muted. Okay. All right.
We'll fix it in post, Michael.
Listen, that means the missiles do not come to Brooklyn. You send them to Idaho. That's where the troublemakers
are. Bring it.
Okay, all right. So we're going to change things up a little bit because all I want is one idea. One freaking idea. That's what I care about. One idea. So I'm going to ask each of you gentlemen for your favorite idea. What is the one thing where, if there is anything worth buying left, what do you choose?
SOXX, SOXX ETF above 550 or through 550 for long. It's got to break up through it, but above 550 for a long.
That works for me.
One idea. I'm like Costco, man. I deal in volume. One idea. I'm like
Costco has limited in. Costco also only sells. Costco, you can only buy like one type of tuna fish at Costco. Costco doesn't give you 50 options of everything. They give you the one.
Yeah, but you buy a tub of 30 pounds of it.
Yeah, that's what I want. Give me 30 pounds of your best idea. Are you afraid, JR, to just say what Derrick? No hesitation. He's like SOXX above 550. JR, you are hesitating.
Yeah, we're still in the middle of earnings season. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Oh God.
Well, I really liked CART this morning. I'll give you one right here. So CART this morning had a major breakout. I'm looking for a secondary reaccumulation around 53.80, and that is 2 years worth of base off the IPO that's about to break out. The measured move there takes you up to $85, $86 on Instacart.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you happy?
I am ecstatic because now I know I don't have to sort between 8,000 freaking ideas. I can just go buy Instacart if I'm so inspired.
You just wanted a greatest hit tape. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Gentlemen, always fun. Hopefully Sammy will be back with us next week. Everybody, especially you SpaceX lungs, Godspeed. Have a wonderful weekend.
Take care,
Thanks, guys. See ya.